Hi, welcome to Encool of the Day, and today's segment, Keeping It Real with Donna and David Burks. Last show we discussed steps to financial security. Today we're going to continue along that same theme, but we'll go more in depth discussing how you can apply these principles to your personal situation. I guarantee that if you take note of this information, you will enhance your financial position in 2017. It only takes small steps to make a huge difference. What are some of the goals you want to achieve in 2017? We are going to look at how the proper goals can ensure you achieve your dreams in the appropriate timeline and how you can save over $1,000 by the end of next year just by saving an extra dollar each week. David and I are excited to share this with you, so let's get started. So today we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about where we learned about money, and also the emotions connected with money. So David, you want to tell us a story about how you learned about money?
Well, I guess in my 20s, when I got married, of course, and then had a family, and you had to be on a budget because you got to make your mortgage, you got to pay the light bill. So I guess that's really when it stuck that I needed to do that. But sort of learned that somewhat from my mom, because she was pretty tight on money. So it's like, you know, she made money stretch.
Okay. So I guess when I think back, it's the same. I learned a little bit by my parents, but I mean, we started young babysitting, like when I was 12, 13. We started babysitting. We had to start making our own money very early. So my parents even stopped paying for school clothes for us once we started working. So we learned if we wanted to make it last, we had to do that. So let me ask you about emotions. So during that time, and as you went through your adult life, was there a time that you felt like you had a bad connection with money? I mean, let me say, some people, or the bills connected with the money, because again, many people have a tendency to, especially when the bills come, to cringe, right? It's like, oh my gosh, and you get this pit in your stomach, and you don't want to have to deal with it. Do you remember experiencing things like that?
Well, back then I was an auto mechanic, and you were on commission, so it was very tough knowing what money that you would have each day. So you knew you had to work real hard one day or work doubly hard because you didn't do anything that one day. So it was really, people that are on commission, it's really, really hard to have a budget because you don't actually know what's coming in. That's true. Because it all depends on the people coming into your store and what's wrong with their cars, and that was really hard to do that. So you really had to figure out, okay, I know I'm going to make this because of the average, and then try to work with that.
So there could be a little bit of stress associated with that then.
Oh, it's very stressful.
Yeah, doing that.
And you see that in a lot of other people that work on the commission base also. You know, it's very stressful not knowing what you're going to have coming in when that Friday comes and all them bills stack up in the mailbox.
It's a completely different way of planning versus having a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or once a month. So, okay, audience, so now it's your turn. We're going to ask you, where did you learn about money? So it's something I want you to think about. Did you learn, as they say, from family, friends, or fools? Or did you take some initiative and go out there and try to learn some of the habits? Or is that one of the things that's on your goal for next year, or maybe even this year, that you want to learn more about money so that you can be more disciplined? Because you know what, money doesn't make you rich, but money makes things easier, right? You don't have to be rich, but it's not about that. It's about having choices. And so you have to think about that. What motivates you? Is it because it gives you more options in life? You know, if you're going to have to set goals, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, we're going to talk about dreams and goals. But if you're going to have to set these and then stick to these, you have to really know why you're doing it, what motivates you. So you have to go, okay, what is it that I dislike doing? So, because if you have more money, you can stop doing the things you don't like doing, right? And then you can focus on the things that you're better at and the things that are going to help you possibly make more money. So let's move down to lifestyle choices. So we've talked about where do you learn about money. And, oh no, let's go back for a minute. Let's talk about emotions, okay? Money and emotions. So there are all kinds of emotions tied to money. Money can make you happy, right? You're getting a paycheck coming in, you're going to be happy. You've got a bonus, you're going to be happy. It could also make you very concerned. Oh, shopping, right? Because for women, sometimes that good feeling comes from, oh, I need to go buy myself something. Well, maybe men too, right?
Yeah.
It could be men too. You're going to go buy something and you
Harbor
feel...
Freight tools.
Yes, you guys have your little,
We
get
like
your
the
little
tools.
pleasures as well, right? So you could go buy something because you're not feeling good, or maybe you're depressed. And then, like women, okay, so you put the ice cream away, right? Because you're depressed, you've had the gallon of ice cream. You put that away, and then you decide to go down to the store, and you're going to go shopping, you're going to buy something, makes you feel good. Then you come home, and you feel bad. Because then you're looking at your budget and said, I really couldn't afford this. So now I feel bad about what I did. So there can be a lot of emotions connected.
Yeah, there is. And I've known a couple of times that I've gone to stores and walked around and got stuff and put it in the basket, then almost get up to the counter and say, I don't need that stuff.
Yep.
And just leave it there and just walk out. And so it's like, well, that's good, because I didn't,
And I've done that as well, where there's stuff that I say, or there's times that we've gone shopping and I like, I'm going to get this, and then I get home, it's like, oh, I don't really want it, we need to take it back. And you're like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because I don't take it back, you have to take it back.
I take it back.
Because I'm bad about returning stuff. So I have to learn I do a second weeding in the store sometimes to make sure.
I say, where's the receipt at? Because I'll take it back.
Yeah, you do. And that goes into lifestyle choices, right? Because lifestyle choices are about where we spend our money. So it's our habits, it's our spending habits. It's part of that relationship with money, it's part of the emotions connected to money, it's how we manage our overall finances. And I know that you and I have talked about goals, and that's something that we're going to do here in the next week or two. Right? Is we're going to sit there and go back through our budget and our finances and restructure some things to meet some of our goals for 2017.
And you were mentioning about the sadness and the fear of money. I mean, I remember when I knew I wasn't going to make enough to do what I needed to do, so then I had to do extra work on the side to make up for the work that I didn't get at the workplace. Yep. So therefore, that took a lot of my time away from my family.
Yep.
So you're working so hard just to make that dollar to keep the house, to pay the bills, and the family part and the kids are like, well, I have to do this, and then you're missing out on that. Then you feel real bad about that.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a struggle at particular times. So.
It is, and that's part of what we're going to look at in goals. When you're trying to set goals for yourself, then there's different areas, right? There's 5 or 7 different areas depending on which one you use, which we're going to talk about. But you made a good point. There's only 2 things that you can do, okay? So I want you guys to listen up to this. If you do not have enough money to make it through the month, then you have really 2 options. That's all there is. There's one, you have to go find a way to make more money or get another job. Or 2, you have to find out how you can cut back on what you have. And so maybe that cable channel that has 198 channels with it, maybe you don't need 198, right? Maybe you only need the 50 instead. You can go to basic cable and save some money there. So there's little things that we can do. Even insurance. A lot of people don't think about that. You can even change your deductible on your insurance. And this is car insurance as well, or house insurance, and you can change it. And that can save you a little bit of money. So there are some things you can do to start slimming that budget. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that as well. But let's talk about dreams for a moment. I think we hit on that on the last show. But what is a dream? And the question is, do you even have a dream? And all of us need to have a dream, right? And even if it's a dead dream, we need to revive it, bring it back, maybe modify it if we need to. But I was doing a presentation for the ladies down in Florida last weekend, and I had asked them that about dreams, and one of the things I said was, okay, maybe your dream was to be this great ballerina. And okay, you're a little bit older now, right? Because most of them's like our age, in their 40s and up. It's like, okay, so maybe you're not going to be the world's greatest ballerina, but maybe you can still go to school if you wanted to learn how to do it. It's good exercise, right? 2, if you already know how to do it, maybe you can volunteer. Or maybe you can participate in some company shows. I mean, community shows. Yeah, because there's a lot of community theater. So there's things that you can do to modify that dream, but still derive that pleasure that you were going to get from it. Right? So and that would be one of those personal dreams that we want to achieve. But the one thing that we're going to talk about before we go to break here is we're going to talk about dreams. So I want you to think about one dream that you can achieve in 2017, okay? Or some goals that you can start setting towards that dream. So it's never too late. So write this down. You're gonna write down one dream that you can accomplish in the next 1 to 2 years. And then think about a dream that you want to accomplish in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, because you want to have short-term dreams and you want to have long-term. So you want to write down both of those. Okay, and then we're going to start talking about goals and what can you do now? What can you do today to start working towards that? But the bottom line is, whatever you do, all your activities, if you're serious about wanting to achieve the dream, then the activities that you do on a daily basis should be connected to a goal and to a dream, right? Because how much time do we have when we look at that sometimes, right? How we go through the day and then it's like, okay, what did we get accomplished today that is moving us forward in accomplishing our goals? And that's really is important, and being able to write down, say 1 to 5, what's the priority, some of the things you have to do this week, and prioritize them 1 to 5 as far as how important are they, or how much will they help you accomplish that goal.
Right, like each day I write down that I need to visit 10 business owners. So if I do that within a certain amount of time, then I can go on to maybe talking to 5 different individuals. So if I hit them 10 and I spend some time in there, then that makes me feel like I accomplished something during that day.
Exactly.
You know?
And you know, so there's different ways that we can do that, and we're going to talk about that in again when we get back from break, because we're going to be going to break here in just a second. But it's prioritizing and making sure it meets a goal, because you could have a lunch with 2 people, right? When you go to out visiting with businesses, you could still meet up with 2 friends, because maybe your goal is that you want to establish more relationships with your friends, or more often you want to be able to stay in contact, right? So now you're squeezing in 2 things. Okay? So we'll be back. We're going to take a short break, station break, but we'll be right back after these announcements.
Come on, let's go.
Hey, hi, what's your name? You live around here? You're pretty. Where are you guys going? Where are you going? Where are you going?
Guess it's about time to get you fixed, sweetie.
Your pets will start getting noticed sooner than you think. Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
I'm a wife.
A sister.
And a grandfather.
I'm an office clerk.
I'm a research analyst.
Dance fitness instructor.
Actor.
I'm a copywriter.
I'm a veteran.
I have lupus.
Cerebral palsy.
I'm blind.
And I'm working in a job I love.
I love.
Because I was given a chance.
To contribute my skills and talents.
To show that my disability
is only one part of who I am.
Who I am.
Who I am.
At work, it's what people can do that matters.
For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Hi, welcome back to Keeping It Real with Donna and David Burks. Today we are talking about achieving the financial dreams and goals in 2017 using small, measurable steps. So David, right before that we were giving a very brief goal. Right before the break you were talking about in work related, right?
Right.
And that happens to be one of the goal areas. So we're going to talk about goal areas in a second, but I just wanted to reiterate what is a goal. And goals are basically dreams. So you have a dream, but then you have smaller goals up underneath it, kind of like smaller dreams you want to achieve to meet the bigger one. But they are written, and they are specific. Right? It's a specific plan for achievement. Because if you don't write it down, well, we know what happens, right?
Yeah, it never gets there.
It never gets done. Because we have all these things in our mind that we have to accomplish every single day, and something's going to get dropped off if we don't have it written down. And we know that, of course, as we're getting older, we have more senior moments as well. Right?
Yeah.
That I have to remind you to remind me to do something.
That's why I have to write everything down every morning. What do I need to do?
Exactly.
And I write it down.
Yeah, and the Google Calendar has become my friend because I use that for everything, and we use it together. But I do want to say a quote here. It's kind of a quote. But if you can't dream it, it won't happen. Nothing is unrealistic if you have a clear plan. But you have to have a plan to get there, right? What's the saying about if you fail to plan, you plan to fail? And that is not what we want, okay? Because we believe that it's important for everybody to have a good financial basis. And so let's talk about how we can achieve that. Okay, so first of all, a goal should be specific. S, right? Specific, and it needs to be significant. And what does that mean? It means that you can't say, I want to buy a house. Okay, you want to buy a house, but what's the goals underneath it? Is I want to buy a house in 2017. I want to buy a house in 2018. And then, so one of the goals underneath that would mean that you have to have money, usually, to buy a house, right? You got to have a down payment. So then you've got to start, that's a way to start measuring it. Part of that goal is because now you have to save money, or you have a time frame that you want to do it in. But it has to be measurable. It has to be motivational. You have to motivate yourself somehow to achieve that goal. So we're talking about the businesses. So when you're talking about going out to business, as you said, 10 businesses a day. That's specific.
That's a goal, yeah.
Yeah, that's very specific. And it's measurable too, right? Because if you don't hit 10 businesses, then you know that, okay? So, and your motivational is that the more you do it, then you enjoy doing it. And plus, you get to meet people.
Oh,
right?
You get to meet a lot of people.
Yeah, so you're actually going out into your community and meeting a lot of the other business owners. So I would think that's motivational in its own way, right?
Yeah, you can be out there talking to the business owners and the employees that are in there. And then one day you are at a store and they see you and say, oh, that's the financial guy. Hey, how you doing?
So, and that's good. I think we all need to get out in our communities a little bit more. You know, go meet some people. It's attainable, right? There's nothing hard about it. You can go do it. It's attainable. Results oriented. So you got to have results. So let's talk about first S is specific and significant. It has to be significant to you. Measurable, motivational. A is attainable. R is results oriented. Okay, so, and you got to have a reason, not just because somebody else wants you to do it. You need to have a reason why is it important to you. And then it has to be time driven. That's the goal, that's that time frame, right? Associated. So yours is per day. So that's your time frame, right? Is you want to do it per day. Now let's talk about the goal areas real quick. So there's a couple different thoughts out there on goal areas. One of them is there's 5 goals, and that's giving, occupation, adventure, life improvement, and S would be spiritual. So those are the goal areas. So there's one that's 5. And then there's another gentleman out there that has 7 goals, or a lot of people they tell you to focus on 7 goals. Okay, 7 goals would be financial, career, physical, personal development, family, spiritual, and social. So there's different ways, and there's actually a couple websites. So if you guys want to contact me, I can give you the websites. But there's one of them is www.48days.com, and that gentleman has a whole plan where you can go and fill out the goals to help get yourself on track. Okay, but the first thing you got to do, if you know you have a dream, and you have some goals in mind, right? You have some goals, but you got to know where you're at, where you're starting from, right? It's like running a race.
Yeah, you can't be dreaming of something that's totally impossible.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be somewhat achievable.
And you need to take stock of where you're at.
Right.
Right? You got to do personal inventory and say, okay, I'm here and I need to get there. And how am I going to do that? So what the 48days.com website, he actually has a inventory, a personal checkup. Okay. And based on those questions, it may let you know where you need to focus your goals. So example, if you want to establish better relationships with family, then if that answer is yes, then that means that one of the goal areas you want to work on is family, right? So that makes sense. But actually they say you should select one goal in each area, okay? So again, if you use the word goals, that's 5 areas: giving, occupation, adventure, life improvement, and spiritual/family. So you would select one goal in each of those areas. If physical may be, I want to work out 30 minutes a day, okay? But you start with 10 minutes a day. Maybe you start with 5 minutes a day, right? That's the one thing that I know we're supposed to be working on, right? That's one of our goals, so that we're supposed to be working on that physical fitness part. And so, again, we got to do that personal checkup. And so, okay, so you did the personal checkup, you have the goals, then again, you have to decide where do you want to be in 5 years. So let's give you an example of a personal goal. Let's talk about financial, okay? Financial, I think, is important because that is really a foundation to everything we do, too, right? What was one of the things we talked about last time? Emergency funds?
Yes.
Yep.
Having emergency funds and savings.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? They say 6 months of emergency funds?
You want 6 months of funds. And here's the thing, guys. I want to hit on this because I don't want to forget. Remember I said that you could save $1,000 by the end of the year? The way you do that is you start saving $1 this week. Next week, you save $2. And then guess what you saved the third week, David? $3. We save $3. Okay, then you save $4, then you save $5, and you continue doing that for the whole year. And if you do that throughout the whole year, by the time you're finished, you should have about $1,300 in a savings account.
So that one day that I don't get that $5 coffee
can make a difference.
Can make a big difference.
Can make a big difference, yep. So, but if you, so maybe you get a $3 coffee instead to find the extra couple bucks, right?
Well, I make it at home. It's cheaper.
It's definitely cheaper. We can even recommend a good coffee machine that makes it really smooth. So, but that's a simple way to do it, right? Even just $25 or $5 a month, taking something simple. But you also want to look at where you would family, renewing your insurance, your wills, your legal documents. You want to look at all that. So that's an example of financial. Just trying to get organized for the year is a good start. It's not even putting out money necessarily. It's just where am I, and let me get organized. But we have to start doing it now, guys. Come 2017, you don't want to start putting it together, and it takes you a month or two, right? You want to have it ready to go so you start feeling good about accomplishing your goals.
Right, we talk about that all the time, but when you actually take a piece of paper and you start writing it down and you see it in that black and white, that's totally different.
You feel good.
It jumps out at you.
Yep.
So you can talk about it all the time, but when you start writing it down and seeing it, it's different.
You feel good, and then you have something to measure, right? So you know you're accomplishing something. So that goes back to the goals, having something measurable in a time frame that you can check off. So let's kind of put this together. So again, I want you to go through each of the goals, and we can provide the information again. So GOALS, you can start with the 5 goals if it makes it easier, the 5 areas. But create the dream, think about what it is, and then start putting goals under it. So here's an example of a goal. I want to own a house. Okay, that's pretty generic, right? I want to own a house. But what about I want to buy a 4-bedroom house, a master bedroom on the first floor, because
Yay.
well, yeah, one day we're not going to be, so young. But, outdoor pool, entertainment area, big kitchen, because that's where people gather all the
Exactly.
time. Open floor plan with an office, 2-car garage. But so that's specific. I'm being more specific, right? Now, how's it going to be measured? Well, okay, I want to buy this in 5 years. I need to have $30K for a down payment. So now you have something you can measure it against if you're on track, right? If you're not saving that money each year, then if I'm not saving $6K a year, I'm going to be off track, right? Because I can't hit that $30K. Okay, what about a credit score? So is it attainable? Yeah, if you got a good credit score and you're saving the money, it's attainable. But if you don't have a good credit score, then one of your goals is you got to start working on that credit score to get it better.
Yeah, start paying off them little credit cards at a time.
Exactly.
Start somewhere.
That's kind of what we talked about last week, right? And then, again, the result-oriented is you got to save $6K a year for 5 years for the down payment, and you need to start conducting market research. Because if you want to live in a high-cost area and you know your budget is only $300,000, then you have to make some decisions, right?
In
Where
Northern
are you
Virginia,
live?
no.
Where are you going to live? So,
Hey, we need to move to South Carolina.
and that's it. Where is this going to be my retirement house? Is it going to be my second house? That makes a difference, right? And then the reasons. What's the reasons? Is it because you want space for family and friends to gather? Is it because you want a retirement home? Do you want a tax write-off? What is it going to do for you? So, and then the time frame. And we already said you want to buy it in 5 years, right? So guys, I hope that kind of brings that together for you. The fact that we've talked about goals and how that can work for you. Our time is up, and we hope that you will take this information to heart and not just think about it, but apply it and take action. It's not enough to know what to do. You must execute a plan. If you need assistance with setting up a budget, creating goals, or finding the financial vehicles to meet your goals, please don't hesitate to contact us. We never charge for our services because our mission is to help families develop a solid financial foundation. We believe that when families are protected and financially healthy, our communities are that much stronger. Don't forget about the free financial education classes starting in January in Springfield, Virginia. Take some time to invest in yourself and your future and come on out and see us. Our contact information is listed on the screen. Take advantage, as we would love to receive your comments or questions about today's show. David and I will see you next time, and until then, remember to keep it real.